Good evening, my friends. A major World War III escalation today. NATO has given Ukraine permission to strike targets inside of Russia with soon-to-be delivered F-16 jets, says NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg, war criminal, in an interview today. Kim.com reporting this, by the way. Reminder, Putin warned that if F-16 jets strike Russia, Ukraine may no longer be the only target. Yes, this is an escalation warning. Now, I don't have a side in this fight at all. Russia, Ukraine, half a world away from me in the United States. Don't care. Just have a vested interest in World War III not happening and me not becoming a pile of irradiated ash. So call me selfish, whatever. So shifting gears a bit, Russian general, this is Remix from .news. Russian general claims NATO troops are operating in Ukraine disguised as mercenaries. So NATO soldiers operate air defense systems and take part in assault groups, claims one top Russian general. So a number of American and Polish bodies found in Avdiivka, a city recently captured by Russian forces. NATO soldiers are taking part in the fighting disguised as mercenaries. They control air defense systems for operational and tactical missiles and multiple rocket launchers and are part of the assault teams. Yes, they control all the shit that we've sent over there. The billions of shit we've sent over there that hasn't been stolen and sold on the black market. Now, whenever you hear about a helicopter crash in some remote part of Appalachia, those soldiers were probably killed in Ukraine. Dark thought, but hey, that's where my mind goes these days. So hey, call me a Debbie Downer, whatever. I'm a realist. What can I say? So this is Newsweek. They're blue and on. NATO gives Ukraine the go-ahead to cross Putin's red line, which is F-16's attacking Russian targets. And I don't know why Ukraine and NATO are somehow intertwined. Ukraine is not in NATO. Probably never will be either. So anyway, Jens Stoltenberg, war criminal, says Ukraine has the right to use its Western-supplied weapons to defend itself against Russia, even if this includes striking Russian targets within Russia's borders. So, again, he bloviates about international law. Shut the fuck up, Jens Stoltenberg, war criminal. So, Russia today, take it with a grain of salt, arming Ukraine with F-16s could trigger a nuclear war. Medvedev, former President Medvedev, giving Kiev new military capabilities poses the risk of unintended escalation, the former Russian president said. So NATO member states are currently training Ukrainian pilots to operate F-16s, most likely on the Commodore 64 game F-16 Combat Pilot, ahead of the expected transfer of the aircraft. And I figured out the grift. F-16s are not the greatest platform. F-18 Super Hornet is superior in every way, but they're relatively cheap, and the grift is the F-16 is scheduled to go out of service in the United States in 2025. So we're most likely sending over all of the higher hours, higher flight time models over to Ukraine, and then the U.S. will procure new F-35s from Lockheed Martin. So Congress and all the lobbyists and all the grifters in D.C. win. And Lockheed Martin wins, of course, and you and I lose. So F-16s are relatively cheap. F-35s are not. So anyway, Kiev has been asking for the Western fighter jets for months, saying they were needed to combat Russian air superiority. They're not going to make a fucking jack shit of difference either, in my opinion. So, and Medvedev saying this, an accidental unintended outbreak of a nuclear conflict is not something to be discarded, which is why all those machinations, great word, around Ukraine are dangerous, Medvedev said in an extensive interview with Russian journalists, as quoted by TASS, again, grain of salt, on Thursday. So I'm guessing Medvedev can hold a longer than 3-minute question and answer session without 30 edits in it, unlike Beijing Biden, our alleged president. He was bitching about Congress not passing Ukraine aid in a 2-minute video that had 30 edits in it. I wanted to cover that last night, but no time, unfortunately. So, the deputy head of Russia's National Security Council cited the U.S.-designed aircraft, again in the 70s. It's old. It's decent. There's better, but it's old. As a possible trigger, noting Kiev wants them despite having no ground infrastructure to operate them. And they probably can't even create the fuel that goes in them. So, I mean, there's a lot of shit that's required to operate and one F-16, much less a fleet of them. I think we're only scheduled to send over like 8 or 10 or some insignificant number. So Medvedev is claiming, if one of those planes takes off from a NATO nation on a Ukrainian mission, what would that be? An attack on Russia? I shall not describe what could happen next, he said. Such a development may not even be sanctioned by the NATO leadership and the U.S., so previously warned that delivering F-16s to Ukraine would be highly problematic, considering the jets can deploy nuclear gravity bombs. Now, if we're stupid enough to give them nuclear gravity bombs, oh my God! I mean, I know I have very low. The bar of the Beijing Biden diversity hire administration is so low. I don't know. I don't believe anything. Everything is on the fucking table these days with those actual dipshits, those smooth brains. So Medvedev also claims that the doomsday clock is ticking and has sped up considerably now. Jesus. Strange times we live in, my friends. So that's that. That's all we're going to do. I may have a second video, which will be about certain medical topics, so that will not be on YouTube. So that's it. If you like my content, hit subscribe, hit the like button, notification bell, leave me a comment. I read all the comments, my friends. Pick up some non-perishable food, and God bless.